So Bathurst last year turned it into a bit of a disaster for us. We had a mechanical issue. Richo and I were trying to go back to back. We had a few issues leading into the weekend, obviously trying to get a setup right that we both were comfortable in. We started further back than we ever accepted or wanted to be, and I think that really that gave us some motivation for the Sunday's race to work our way back into it. And I think that after our first stint we were almost back into the top 10. We were cruising along quite nicely, and of course I did my stint. Steve was in, he was about to do his second part of the double stint, and he got on the radio and said he had a gear linkage malfunction, which of course at that point we didn't know exactly what was going on. It was stuck in, I think, second or third gear. Came out of Forest Elbow, got the car back into pit bay, which is obviously what we wanted. We obviously swarmed on the car. We could see that the gear lever was working and the rod was connected still to the gear lever. So I then, of course, run to the back of the car where the rod goes through, goes into the transaxle, and you can see where it had broken off that. We tried to get into neutral so we could spin the wheels and get everything organised. So I dived in, and my background is I'm a qualified motor mechanic, and that's something that has served me very well over the course of the years, because any vibrations, any issues, I can sort of at least have half an idea or pinpoint an area where we think that we can start searching on. So really my background is general mechanics. I did it actually through my father, so I was lucky enough through my early years of racing that I was still doing my training, and I did it because of, if I wasn't going to be a successful race driver, I had something to fall back on, and that was something that my father and my mum wanted me to have a way of supporting myself if the racing side of it didn't work. So really that I was very lucky. Of course with that it does help. As I said, dived into the back of the car, we got it into neutral, and of course then the boys went to work once they found out, or the area where it was broken, that for me I had to step back, but of course through my qualifications I wanted to know then why it broke. And of course I think people saw us working with the two parts of the puzzle of the rod, and where it had broke, it wasn't at the welds, and it was almost where the insert went inside the chromoly tube. It had sheared off, and it's something that's a component that we don't normally look at because we've never had an issue with before in the past. So now that we've had a failure, we've beefed that component up into the current car, and of course it is also a component that we do now crack test. We do keep an eye on. There is a lot of strain and forces that go through that rod. We just probably underestimated how much. I don't think I'll ever open up my own workshop. I think that the time and dedication you need into the racing sense would be too much. I did think about it though when I was going through my qualification. It did in the back of my brain where you take over your family business. Dad had a chassis dyno, so we used to dyno a lot of cars. We used to do a lot of work with turbochargers. So for me, my background is pretty diverse. It's not just set on one car or one type of manufacturer. We worked on everything and anything at the time. So it did cross my mind back then, but not now.